Hello students, this is Gayathri. Today we will discuss about friction. Factors affecting friction. The force of friction depends upon the following two factors. Nature of the surfaces in contact. The frictional force depends on the roughness of two surfaces in contact. More the roughness of the surface, more is the friction. For example, pushing an object on a glass surface will be easier than pushing an object on rough surface, since glass surface is smooth whereas wooden surface is rough. How hard the surfaces are pressed together. See here, press means rub. So when we press forcefully, the friction will be high. So in the rough surfaces, friction will be high. When we press lightly the surfaces, the friction will be very low. That is, the smooth surfaces, the friction will be very low. Types of friction. Friction is of three types, namely static friction, sliding friction, and rolling friction. Static friction is also called as dynamic friction and also kinetic friction. Static friction. The friction existing between the two surfaces in contact when there is no relative motion between them is known as static friction. See, for example, see this picture. A boy is trying to move that rock. So, he is trying to move the rock, but that rock is not moving. So, when we try to move an object at rest, static friction comes into play. Sliding friction. The force of friction acting between the two surfaces when one of them just slides over the another with uniform speed is known as sliding friction. See, here one object is that slide surface, another object is that girl. So, when one object sliding over the another object, sliding friction comes into play. Rolling friction. The friction that exists between the surfaces when one body rolls over another is known as rolling friction. See, we all might have seen in luggages and all fitted with some rollers. Why it is fitted with rollers? Because to easily move. So rolling reduces the friction. That's why to pull luggages it is fitted with rollers. See here, all the three types of frictions are given in a picture. I already said, when one object is at rest, when we are trying to move, there will be no motion between the two surfaces. Here, one surface is the floor, other surface is that box. So, there is no motion between the two surfaces. That is called static friction. Sliding friction. When one object slides over the other, that time a friction comes into play. That is called as sliding friction. Rolling friction. When one object rolls over the another. Here, a ball is rolling over the surface. So, the two surfaces are the ball and the surface. So, when one object rolls over another, it is called as rolling friction. The motion applied here is rolling motion. Why is sliding friction smaller than static friction? During sliding, the irregularities in the two surfaces in contact don't get enough time to interlock properly. So that's why sliding friction is smaller than the static friction. Why rolling friction is less than sliding friction? The force of friction depends on the area of contact between the two surfaces. As the area of contact is less in the case of rolling than in the case of sliding. So, rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. See, the force of friction usually depends upon the contact between area of contact between the two surfaces. So, in case of rolling, the area of contact is very much less when compared to the sliding. That's why rolling friction is less than sliding friction. Answer the following questions. What are the factors affecting friction? Explain why sliding friction is less than static friction. 4 children were asked to arrange forces due to rolling, static and sliding frictions in a decreasing order. Their arrangements are given below. Option A, rolling, static, sliding. Option B, rolling, sliding, static. Option C, static, sliding, rolling. Option D, sliding, static, rolling. Do the following activity and record your observations. Refer chapter 12, Friction, activity 12.3 in page number 147 and activity 12.4 in page number 152.